Awesome. Did a little clap.
We did a little clap.
We're not pissed at One Piece. We're pissed at you. And welcome back to Piss Pirates episode, I don't know, 13, 14?
13? Gosh, I should count.
15
like
maybe? Dude, it's been like whatever,
that sounds more
many
right.
years. I didn't realize.
3 years.
3 years.
Maybe going on 4, because I started One Piece in 2022.
Yeah.
And it was halfway through, so I think it's been 4 years almost.
Yeah, I was looking back at my one video where I made that video, Why You Can't Get Into One Piece. I was rewatching that a little bit. I think my arguments are a bit. Oh. To me, I was watching, I'm like, this is a bit like Reddit. This is very
Damn.
Reddit.
That's funny.
Why am I so Reddit in this video? But I think it was what I was feeling in the moment. But I think I'm more doomer about One Piece now, so I think.
Oh, interesting. Great.
Yeah, so I caught up. Shaybs messaged me.
It's time.
It's
time
break
week.
We've been trying to do this one for a while. I've just been busy, and Shayb's been busy.
It just happened. It just slips my mind. And I was gonna say you've caught me at like a more optimistic point for me in One Piece.
This will be interesting.
If we recorded this a couple weeks ago, I would have been so black. It was like
dude,
really bad.
Is it?
It's just like, whoa.
We're gonna be discussing all the recent chapters. The last one we talked about was 1171, I believe, and then
it was right after the flashback ended.
Right after the flashback. So this is everything after the flashback and
up to Emu.
To Emu's
reveal.
So spoilers for the manga. So this is mainly.
Oh my God.
I feel like the podcast is mainly for people who are reading the manga. So if you want to hear.
Yeah. I think it's pretty well established. But
yeah.
What'd you think, Jack? Is he hot?
He's pretty hot. I'll be real. He's pretty hot. But it's just Shaybs. I can't get over Domi Reversi. I just need to address the elephant in the room. It is genuinely the worst thing Oda's ever written. Okay, can I be real? It feels, like retcons. Like, why is? What the fuck happened? Dory Brogy die. I'm like, oh my God, they killed Dory and Brogy. That's crazy. Zoro's about to like cry.
Yeah.
Nope. It turns out when you kill someone while they're Domi Reversi'd, they un-Domi Reversi. And then I'm like, instantly I'm like, wait, then why is Rox dead? And why is fucking, like, what's the guy? King Harold. Why is King Harold
you were confused by that?
Yeah, because my mind instantly goes to like, they were Domi Reversi.
What does immortality mean when you can kill them harder?
Yes. What is
right.
It? I'm specifically talking about how Dory and Brogy are Domi Reversi'd, and then we can like chop their heads off, and then they're back to normal again. Because what does that mean for Rox, who when he quote unquote died, he was Domi Reversi'd, and then we had to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he just died. I feel like that.
Yeah. Allow me to explain.
Explain to me. I was like, what the fuck are we watching right now?
And I do ultimately agree with you. I think this was kind of a weak choice from Oda.
Yeah.
But but before I explain, what did you think about Chopper also being able to cure Domi Reversi?
I hate it all. I just want to say anything associated with it.
You didn't even mention that, which is another layer.
Dude, I didn't even realize until Chopper like blatantly said it later on. Like I'm like Chopper.
Oh!
I thought Chopper was just doing the same thing, but he's like, no, I have a magical monster power.
Right. So with Rox, the explanation at the time was that Roger and Garp had to just use Haki harder. They just had to use a stronger Haki to take down Rox. And by take down, they do mean kill.
Yeah.
Because if we're going by this is what the logic is, they had to kill Rox in order to Domi Reversi. So the thing is, you need to have a lethal blow, otherwise they'll just regenerate. The catch that I think everyone's missing, which is fair, I think it's like easy to miss, is Domi Reversi gives you enhanced strength.
Yeah.
So you're giving it to someone like Rox, who is already dummy strong, and you make them even stronger. That makes them that much harder to kill. And same thing with Dory and Brogy. It's like, I think it's ultimately still kind of an impressive power, quote unquote, because if you give somebody already really strong like a giant and then just make them stronger, it makes them that much harder to kill. Yeah. Whereas if you Domi Reversi'd Usopp, really wouldn't do much. Like you could kill him fairly easily, at least compared to the other two.
Yeah.
And that was why like they had to kill each other in order to make that happen. With Rock's like, oh, and then he just died. It appears that when you are flipped back from having been Domi Reversi'd, you are reverted to the status you were in right as you got Domi Reversi'd. So it's not like they're back to normal necessarily. Emu chopped off the fatter one. The first one that gets Domi Reversi'd, right?
Yeah.
Emu chopped his hand off or blasted it off with a shotgun. And that is still appears to be the case when he got flipped back. His hand is still gone. So it's not like he healed all his wounds from getting flipped back.
Yeah.
It reverts you back to when they were first turned. And it's the same with Rocks. He was wounded in some fashion because he was stabbed by Emu upon being Domi Reversi'd. And he was just like tired from fighting or whatever. This is just the logic. It's still not great. And it does appear that they lethally killed him, which flips him back, and then he's just exhausted, unable to move, unable to fight, and Garling is able to deal him a finishing blow. Basically.
Okay. Yeah, I think I just like missed the last part. That makes sense.
Right.
That makes
fair.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a much bigger retcon than what it actually is.
Right. It's not.
And now
too,
it's just only stupid. Now it's just dumb.
Right.
Now it's just dumb. Which you know,
right.
I already thought, so it's not as bad.
No, totally.
I was
totally.
like, this is like a next level, like terrible.
Yeah, the
writing.
worst thing he's ever done. Right.
I thought I
was
reading. I don't know, man. I was reading these chapters.
I get it. You could probably start seeing red. Right.
I'm so black-pilled, man. I'm reading these chapters, and it just feels like the most rushed part of One Piece ever. I don't.
Yeah. Well, he's wrapping it up. It's crazy. He wrapped all of that up in like in the course of a volume. I wanted to go into this later, but I counted the number of chapters between what's just been released, volume 114. That ends at like 1166. So if you count like however many pages it is after 1166, every volume ranges from 192 pages to 248 pages. Like that's like no, there's only one volume that's 248 pages, but most of them are around 200.
Yeah.
And if you count the number of pages, he could end volume 115 at chapter 1177, which is Usopp's big moment, or 1178, which is Emu being like, oh, I'm going to be away for a short while, or he can end it at this latest chapter, which is just the big reveal. Any of those three seem like potential candidates for how volume 115 ends, which is important. I think it's like he has to kind of keep in mind, like, oh, you want to end the volume in a satisfactory place, and it has to be like somewhere between 10 and 12 chapters to be, the size of a volume, like a book.
Yeah.
Egghead was just about 5 volumes. Elbaf, as of this chapter, once this gets compiled into a volume, is also 5 volumes. So it's going to be a bit longer than Egghead at the end of the day. So we might be looking at 1 or 2 more Elbaf volumes, like so maybe 10 to 20 chapters left.
Yeah.
Which seems right to me. Like, it does feel like we're at a climax point.
For sure.
With Emu coming back and everything. So I get that's kind of like why to answer your question about like him rushing things, I think that's kind of what he's thinking is like, I only wanted this to be so many volumes.
Yeah.
So I'm wrapping this up.
I get it. No, I understand I understand he wants to finish the arc. It's just like you put too much in the arc, man.
Well, the flashback was extremely long.
Yeah.
And
well, the flashback's the best part of the arc.
At this point, yeah. Which you were disappointed by.
Like everything else, I'm like, this shit doesn't matter. Like I'm so uninvested in everything happening. Everything. It feels like every event is like a Deus Ex Machina. Like I wanted the emotional moment. I have so many thoughts about all of this.
Yeah.
When the kids are walking, all the little giant kids, they're marching with the little thorns. And whatever evil Nika comes in and destroys the boat and like the little clouds, and then they're gonna fall to their deaths, and then all their parents kind of like grab onto them and fall over, and like it tries to be an emotional moment, and I'm feeling a bit of emotions, but the motion of it is so stupid, and I think that I think that is the core of One Piece, that it's so stupid but so emotional. But in that moment, I struggled so hard to feel emotional whatsoever.
I was right there with you, actually.
It felt very like like Oda was trying too hard to have an emotional moment, and it really didn't stick.
It didn't stick because I don't care about those characters as much as I care about the Straw Hats.
Exactly, right? And
this had literally nothing to do with the Straw Hats. They were completely devoid.
And then they don't fucking die anyways. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this entire chapter? Like, there's no fucking like they don't fucking die.
It's a good I think it's a good emotional moment. I actually was stirred pretty well by it in a vacuum, but then the big fuck you dragon shows up.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Loki saved them, and it's giant, and it's cool. But I'm looking at this double page spread of this giant fuck you dragon, and I'm like, the fuck we need Zoro for?
Yeah.
The fuck do we need Sanji for? What do we need any of these Straw Hats? We could just have the big fuck you dragon solve the thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And I'm just like, what about chopped liver? Like
it all feels
here?
Inconsequential. Like, I don't know. Like what it feel like I felt like that moment deflated like any tension, because I feel like the kid, like the pressure of like the giant kids potentially dying was that like emotional hostage. Like, we don't want to see these poor little kids die. Like, that's just sad.
Right.
But once that is like saved, and once apparently Sanji can just put his little fire foot and destroy the thorn somehow, like,
right.
I'm just
I don't know why that was like, really weird.
And then
they gave
and
away
of course
that
Jinbei says the line too. He said, "So the vines are weak to high temperatures, huh?"
Right.
Like, shut the fuck up, Jinbei. Like, you don't.
And
do
that
anything.
was the same chapter where Summer gets BTFO'd by Luffy.
By Luffy, yeah. Just one shot.
And we're looking at, we're like, because we were speculating, like, oh, I wonder who he's gonna fight. He could fight Sanji. He could fight Zoro. Like, I don't know if like Luffy would just take him out easy in one shot, and lo and behold,
that's what happens. Because I guess Oda didn't have enough chapters. I guess like my criticism. I think the setup for this arc was too long. There's too many characters, and then obviously the flashback was a while, but he needed more time in this part of the arc. I think there needed to be, because it feels like there's like, I'm reading these chapters, I'm like, what the hell? There is too much going on. Like, we see the straw, like there's like this panel, I think in like 176 or something, and it's like Nami's like, oh, Sanji, you're there, and then it just cuts away. I'm just like, what? Where are we? Like, we keep cutting back to different points.
You couldn't really get your bearings?
Yeah, I was struggling to get my bearings, and I don't know. I think I was just struggling to get invested. I'm just jumping around a lot. The Usopp moment, this is another, like,
what do you think?
I need Shaybs clarification.
Oh, sure.
How the fuck did Usopp go from being with the Nami group? I feel like we saw him, like the last time I remember seeing him before he appears with Brook, is he's freaking out with Nami. And then one chapter, he's like,
"You are correct."
He just fucking appears. I'm like,
we didn't get to see the moment where he makes the decision to go after Brook, knowing that he went that way. He doesn't really mention Brook, I don't think, when they're tied up.
Oda just forgot to give Usopp a moment, and he's like, "Let me just give it with Brook's moment, because I'll just fucking slide all the Straw Hats together in a slurry, and I'll give them all their moments together." Because I'm too busy working on the live action.
Okay. Look, I voiced it last episode where I understand how difficult this is for him to give the Straw Hat something in this arc in particular, where everything is so big and spread out, and it is a logistical challenge to place the characters in such places to give them something. You know, you kind of have to give them a tower. Like in Enies Lobby, like you have to give them like just one building.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the characters, and then you can just place them where you want to have the fights and stuff like that, and give them like a challenge, and isolated in such a way where there's not a bunch of other places going on.
Because there's like, he draws like an intricate map at one point, and I'm like,
right, we
don't like, this is so complicated.
And you know who's missing from that fucking map?
Luffy, right?
No, fucking Frankie.
Oh, Frankie was missing?
We did not know. We had zero idea where Frankie, Lilith, and Bonnie were for beyond the, like, past the flashback. We were 1172, where's Frankie? 73, where's Frankie? 74, where's Frankie? 75, where's Frankie? 76, finally fucking Frankie, and that's where he gets his power up and he does a cool thing or whatever.
He drinks like Diet Coke and it's like really good. So it's like good.
No, right.
stuff.
And I'm like, I'm happy he got the power up. I'm happy that was, and I'm happy he's back in it. But like the fact that we had just no clue where they were for 4 chapters when he's cutting between everybody and not even like a panel. For what we knew, he was with Ripley and all the giant parents.
Exactly.
He was with them. What happened?
I can't help but feel like he forgot. I just can't, like, there's something in me. Maybe I've just been like consuming too much JoJo stuff recently, but like
oh god.
I can't help but feel like Oda he's juggling, like I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But like, you know, he's juggling so many things logistically, as you were saying. There are too many groups of people that we have to follow. Like, I would not be surprised if he just forgot that Frankie was with Ripley, and then he's like, wait, yeah, I'll just throw him with Lilac. We'll give him a power up.
Yeah, right.
And I think it's a fun power up. I think it's cute. It doesn't feel consequential because like realistically like it just seems like Sanji kind of like I don't know.
Yeah, Sanji takes out killing him anyway.
Yeah, like Sanji
and it's like you're just sort of saving. What is his name? The fucking cloud, Zeus. You're just kind of saving Zeus. It's like, okay, yeah. And like, what's the consequence of the clutch of saving Zeus if he's not the only one? He's not even the one that ends up saving the books from the fire.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's being used for, and he gets stopped from doing that.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of solve that problem a different way with this new gadget bullshit that we hadn't even heard of before.
Yeah.
Like so, random bullshit go, you know, like okay.
The random,
and I'm like, that's nice that Lilith saves the books, and there's a connection between Vegapunk and the books and stuff like that. Like that's kind of nice, and I do like that he's introduced this mystery of where the books have disappeared to.
Yeah,
and the owl's gone. Like that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm mildly interested in that. There was a point when they all stumble onto Saul, like when Robin and the crew like first get to the library. And like Saul's there dying. I'm like, you can't do this to me again. But thankfully Oda didn't do it again.
No, right.
He's not gonna kill Saul again.
For sure.
I just had the thought. I'm like, this man you can't do this to me.
This motherfucker.
This motherfucker. He wants his cake and eat it too, bro. Oh God, man.
Oh, it's his manga.
It's his manga. No, yeah, he can do whatever he wants at the end of the day.
I really was with you up until like they actually started getting what I can't stay mad at him when he does give me what I want.
Yeah.
But like those past 4 chapters, where we didn't even know where one of the Straw Hats was at all, and you're still being like, okay, when's Usopp gonna get something, right? There's like in 1172, which is mostly recap, Yarul has a big rousing speech for the Giants, and I'm like, okay, that's cool for Yarul.
I like that. I like that moment. That was
it's
a good
nice.
Moment.
And it's like, yeah, where's Usopp?
Obviously, I'm thinking that too. For sure.
Yeah. And I just keep thinking that over and over every chapter he doesn't get something, and I was actually really, I was like, this is like when the Frankie chapter happens, because you actually get feats from Jinbei and like the cool tag. Team up thing. I'm like, that's better. And you know what's interesting is like the one character not doing absolutely anything in this chapter is in this group is Usopp.
Yeah.
Nami does something and the 3 of them do something, but Usopp is just gone.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that might actually mean he might be cooking something, but that could have just been copium. And then he actually does get something, which is effectively rage baits the god of the world.
Yeah.
Into coming down, basically. He doesn't. Yeah, he more or less says that, even though there's an entire chapter of Emu dealing with Loki and Luffy first, and then Emu decides, all right, fuck it, we're going down there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we can entirely give it to Usopp, and it doesn't make as much of a difference to me unless Emu, right, like in this form, goes up to Usopp and like, fuck you,
Yeah.
You know, if Usopp can recognize what he did, like that would mean something. That would be more meaningful. But as it is, I think he's just kind of mouthing off to some grunt, and that's all he thinks of it as, and it's not meaningful enough to him. Like, it doesn't make enough of a difference that, like, I know that it's the king of the world he's talking to. I care more that he knows that, and he is being brave in spite of that. You know, like, knowing who Emu is and then saying that, I think would make more of a difference than just like, oh, he happened to say it, you know?
Yeah, that's why I think the moment didn't really hit for me as the number one Usopp fan in the world. I like that Usopp got his moment, but like, as I've said with like this entire like final part of the arc, like it feels so rushed, and just like I couldn't help but feel like, why is Usopp here? Usopp's here now? Like, what? And then he's mouthing off, and like we don't get any like interaction. I do think, like I think it would have hit even more if Emu like revealed himself as like the king of the world and was like actively like rage baited by Usopp in that moment. I feel like it would have hit so much harder. And like we had it's crazy to feel like One Piece is too fast paced. Like, it's such a weird thing to say about the story because
I know
90% of the show is like slow paced, and like that's what, like, you know, gives us the amazing character nuances that we love so much. But I can't help but want more out of that moment, because we've had so many great Usopp moments that are like similar, where he's standing up and he's being brave and he's talking his shit. But this one just like, you know, he was like, being a warrior is awesome and I love Elbaf. It's kind of like what he's already been saying, like, throughout the whole arc.
I still thought it was a good moment, despite that, like, oh, we didn't get to see certain things, and what I was saying about his relationship and like what he knows. I still think it was good because I actually hadn't really seen it laid out like that, just how cowardly Emu's plan was. They really were, in every facet, taking the easy route of kidnapping children, the weak point, sending out nightmares that these giants have dreamed, not even their own not even their own creations technically. But it's like getting these monsters out to fight and possessing people's bodies instead of coming out yourself and stuff like that. Like, he really lays it all out, like, fucking bring it on, cow. Like, you're spineless. Like, how dare you look down on them like this? You're not even trying. You know, and he's right, because like up to that point, with how quickly the tables were turned, like, it really was as easy as like the fucking new giant pirates, fucking Roto and Gerd and their cook or whatever, Ikok Samerti one cryptid and it smashes the boat and completely fucks their plan up. He's like, oh fuck, which is funny. Did you at least like Summers in this stretch? Because he's a real highlight.
I think I just related to Summers. There was like a moment where he said, "You cheated me out of that touching moment," and I was like, "Oh my god, that's literally
same."
That literally same, dude. I don't know, Summers. I guess I just wanted more from him. I think I wanted a fight.
Sure.
I think I wanted a fight.
I would have liked it one-on-one.
I wanted a one-on-one. I think, like, especially Zoro versus Summers. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, I agree. I feel like if we had it gave him a fight against Zoro or even Sanji, because they have like a love connection, right? Like, both
with Sanji would be
love.
Great too, 100%.
Not to mention he'd like foreshadowed like, my fire shoes just completely wipe the the thorns and shit.
That would have been fun to see, like, in a fight, instead of just like doing it after the fact.
It does seem like at this point, given what Emu's gonna do, I don't know. It feels like he's setting up killing him and Sanji.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's a lot of discussion with Emu, and I think that's the thing with like Emu coming down has really sucked up a lot of discussion. Where I think if people took a step back, like we are, and kind of assessed the last volume of chapters, it is kind of like, whoa, like, pump the brakes, like, this is. Really? You know, like this. I think there's some critique to be had. About this shit.
I think it's I think I just don't like Emu, like, as a character. Like, I feel like his character is very hollow, especially for a One Piece villain. His powers kind of reflect that in a way. Just like, he just makes people evil. He is evil. That's kind of it. And it's like, One Piece villains are not like this, like the most like creative or nuanced characters. I think some are more.
Yeah, we can't expect him to be Doflamingo.
Yeah, but he's kind of.
But we should.
We should expect him to be Doflamingo,
we should expect, right? Given
and I know we'll probably get a backstory for him and everything. I think I just crave more personality from him.
I'm not kidding. Like, the minute he was shown to be hot, I'm like, oh, he has depth and nuance that we don't know about.
He just has had so much screen time, and I just like am so uninterested in everything.
Well,
that he does.
He's had screen time, and yet he's been very detached from the story.
Yeah.
Right. He's literally just been cooped up in his little room, and hidden from the world to the point where like no one even knows he exists. So it is kind of hard for us to have that magnetic connection the way we would with Blackbeard, because the reason I gave a shit about Blackbeard was his appearance in Jaya, where he's directly conversing with Luffy, and they have opposite tastes, and yet they both have this like connection of being a pirate.
He has a personality, like that's like.
Oh, that too. Sure. I think I respect people who have been able to dig into psychology and characterization for Emu based on his reactions and his decision making, in terms of like, obviously he's set this all up in some way. He's not just been kind of placed here. He does not, I will say, he doesn't feel like a kind of character like Orochi or Spandaman. Spandam?
Spandam, yeah.
Yeah, who's like, the little shitter who who's in charge of everything, but not the strong guy or whatever. He doesn't feel like that so much. He is kind of characterized like that in some ways, but clearly he has more knowledge and force and like more than he's letting on.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sorry, my brain's going in a lot of different directions.
I feel like, if anything, I feel like he's like, I really love Rob Lucci. I feel like he could be a similar sort of person to that, where I feel like Rob Lucci knows so much about like the world governments and its dealings, but he like uses that to find his strength. It could be something like, obviously I feel like Emu just like wants, the world to stay the same as it is, and him to have immense control is probably like where he's going for. And that's what I see. I can't really be invested in that until I know who he is. Have him have like an interaction with a character that like is more than like, I am the god, I am god demon, I am like, it just feels like he's kind of just so detached, and it's so impossible for me to be invested. And I hate his power. It's like the worst power.
It sort of reminds me of Crocodile, where one of the early, if not the first major thing we got from him was his phone call with Sanji.
Yeah, that
was like a really cool moment.
It instantly, just like made him like an interesting like villain. Like it
made him real.
Yes, 100%.
Not just like an intangible threat that's like hovering in the distance or something. Kaido probably felt the same way for a long time, where he was introduced at one point, and it's like, whoa, he looks really strong, and he has a cool intro of like wanting to kill himself or whatever. But I don't give as much of a shit about him until he has an interaction with Luffy and kicks his ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's like, oh, right? You could say that for all the villains, technically. And that could have been that moment with Luffy Loki when they encounter Emu possessing Gunko's body.
Yeah.
Instead, they kind of just like muscle off Domi Reversi, and he does his typical, it's like, oh, weird thing, fucking punch, and Gatling's him, and that's the one thing and it's like the one thing we get. It doesn't feel like Emu even puts up much of a fight. He tries one thing, which we're not even sure why Domi Reversi didn't work on those two. He seems to have
so goaded, because they're so free. They don't have an ounce of evil in their bodies, Shaybs. It's Luffy.
Actually, it's funny you say don't have an ounce of evil in their bodies, because they technically do. They both have devil fruits.
Oh, they're devils.
And we've not seen Domi Reversi work on a devil fruit user.
Oh,
he's only ever used it.
Is Rock's not a devil fruit user?
What was his devil fruit?
I don't fucking know. I don't remember.
He didn't have one.
He had the rock fruit. I don't know.
yeah. No, as far as we know, he didn't have one.
I see. Okay, maybe it's the devil fruit protects you, or the will of D, or some bullshit.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Or it's those two specific fruits. You remember that Rox was saying, I'm looking for two specific devil fruits, and Harold has one of them.
Yeah, it's the Nidhogg and Nika. Yeah,
it's probably, he never confirmed it, but it seems to be those two.
Yeah,
in that way. And it's really surprising that Emu seemed to have no idea the Nidhogg fruit, that this particular devil fruit, was on Elbaf. He didn't seem to actually know, and he was like, oh, that's where he was. Like, he knows about Nidhogger, in some fashion. I think it's because that he does have something to do with the ancient history, the ancient weapons. Maybe I was thinking about it, how it's like maybe he is the other ancient weapon, and Shirahoshi's another one, and then they're just building the third one that they use the prototype to destroy Lelouchia.
I have a really good theory about Emu. I've been thinking about. I'm reading a lot of philosophical papers and stuff about this. I think Emu is an incel.
I see.
So we in the most recent chapter, Emu is talking a lot about VV, and it keeps flashing back. It flashes back to all of like the main players. Like it shows Blackbeard, it shows Rocks, it shows all of these characters. Joy Boy. I think he was in love with an ancestor of VV's.
Yes.
But then Davy Jones, bro. He put the moves on her.
Which is very similar to the God Valley flashback of all things. Very similar motivations, actually.
Davy
very
Jones,
interesting.
he put the moves on her, so Emu's like, oh, well, anything this guy does is evil because he took my girl.
Yeah.
I think
it would be funny.
Really funny.
Just
need something funny, because the best part of these chapters that we read, for me, was when Nami was yelling at Luffy. For getting Loki to burn everything down, and then Luffy was like, "You got me in trouble, Loki. You got me in trouble with Mom." I thought that was like the best moment.
It sure was.
It like slowed everything down and was just like reminded me about like what One Piece is. And I think giving Emu a semi-funny yet emotional backstory will endear me to him.
I think so too.
Because right now he's hot. I
think you're right.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, he's hot. He kind of looks like Yamato a little bit.
Interesting.
I'm interested.
And there's also like speculation about what is he, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't like. There's a panel before his reveal where he seems to grow a wing out of his body, which wasn't a silhouette. Like I think everyone assumed it was a silhouette, and it seems to have just been an initial form of his that he was adopting. And this is something that he sheds off rather than an actual silhouette technique that Oda's using to, when he doesn't want to reveal the character yet.
In the TCB, they say that, Akuma, like the devil, is written.
Yeah. Akuma no Mi.
Yeah. So yeah, he's
okay. Jack, we were close. In the last episode, we were joking about Emu having the Akuhan no Mi.
Oh yeah.
Because we were like evil book fruit.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh my god.
And then at one point we're like Akuhan no Mi, because that's Japanese for book. So we were this close.
Dude, we were pretty good. We were honestly
so close.
We're pretty good, dude. And honestly,
not bad.
I think I got it with the incel theory. I don't know. He looks like an incel he stays inside in his room all day, and then he's like, I need a girl to come to my room. Like I'm lonely. He only talks to his friends on Discord, the Gorosei, all day. That's all he does. This poor guy, bro.
But you know what's you're gonna get upset by it, Jack? I was gonna say that the one idea is that he's a Lunarian.
Oh.
Because he has darker skin, white hair, and he grew out the wing in the previous panel, but people are noticing he doesn't really have wings.
Yeah.
And where are the flames that are supposed to be around him? And what's up with the horns? It's not like Lunarians have horns necessarily. And then I've seen other people point out, due to reasons, again the kind of darker shade of skin, but also the horns and also the nose shape.
Oh my god, it kind of reminds me of Robin's nose a little bit.
Exactly.
Oh my god, Robin's dad is Emu.
Robin's like devil form, like the Akuma ni Naru, like against Black Maria.
Against Black Maria.
If he looks like that. If he has the same kind of reddish skin.
Yeah, okay. As Black Maria, or
as Robin's Demonio Fleur, like the devil form that she takes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember the color. I don't think I watched the anime for that.
No, that's fair. But there's the devil form that she takes, and she is called the Devil's Child.
She is the descendant of Emu.
So some people are noticing, and they're like, But I don't know if I'm going to go for that. I don't know if I'm going to buy into those stocks.
I don't want to buy into the stocks, but I wouldn't put it past Ichiro Oda. That's all.
I know.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't put it past him. He created the world government. He's probably a little smart. But that
Right.
implies that like he got laid, and that goes against my incel theory. So I don't know.
It does.
I don't
yes.
know if I want to believe that. Like
Right.
if he's the descendant, like
Yeah.
that, of O'Hara or something. Yeah.
So another thing I want to bring up with Emu to kind of pick apart a little is not pick apart, but clearly going down to the surface world is not something the Gorosei want him to do. Even like Garling, who's like, we can't stop him. Some people were kind of reading into it that Garling seems to instigate Emu into doing it, and I don't believe that's the case at all.
Yeah.
But it just feels like he's being more mature about it. And Nostro, Ethan Nostro says a similar thing, where he's like, well, look, guys, we can't do anything to stop him. But they seem to be like, no, this is a really bad idea. Emu's wheezing and coughing up some kind of substance, looks like blood, and then his form's revealed and he has a little trickle of blood on his mouth. He probably shouldn't be here for very long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So people are kind of assuming, because of how presumably overpowered he is, like extremely strong dude, scary dude, that he has some kind of time limit. Like there is so he has to get in and out. People are kind of suspecting that he's not going to get taken out here, and he's just going to like get in, do what he has to do, and get out. And in terms of what you think about it, like, okay, he's down on the surface. What do you think he's going to do?
Yeah, he's just gonna monologue at Luffy, probably try and get some giants. Like I think that's what they were trying to like. Ultimately, they want to get hostages to do it. I think everyone's right on the money, because that's kind of what they're setting up with, like, he's aware of the consequences of the action, of jumping down here.
He might die.
I'd love for him to die.
Me too.
I want to get rid of him. They keep interrupting the arcs. I'm just going to be honest with you. They keep interrupting the arcs and making them worse. The Emu parts of this arc are the worst part. So get it out. We can get rid of Emu, and then the rest of the story will be good again. It'll be great.
Yeah. So it's what I'm asking is, like, what do you suppose his actions are going to be? He knows he can't be here for very long. So regardless of whether he succeeds in what he wants to do and manages to get back to the Holy Land without dying, or he's attempted to do something and he dies in the process. But chapter 1180 starts. What's the first thing the dude does, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's like one of, like, I see it as like two possibilities, I guess, because there's the process of him, like, he could have some sort of like anguish towards Luffy and Loki for getting these devil fruits that he wants and has a fight with them, or he kind of tries to continue with the plan that they started off with and kidnap the children, to try and still try and basically get the giants, force the giants to become part of the world government. But it feels a bit like it feels like a fraud effort. Like at this point, like every giant hates them. It just feels
exactly. But like Yarul's already kind of declared Elbaf is against the world government.
Yeah, it feels like a very uphill battle to do that, and he would have to fight like so many people on top of Luffy. I feel a monologue coming. I feel a nice long monologue from this guy. I crave a flashback, but I know that we probably won't get one, at least until later. So something about his character design is too cool to die here.
Right.
I think that's what I'm sensing, and I just hope Oda makes him a good character. That's all I want, but I personally, like for what he is as a character right now, I'd want him to die. I want Luffy to kill him. With his big punch, and then he kills him.
I think he's gonna do some damage and then die, and then succumb to his wound or whatever he's sick with that's causing him to die just by being here. I think he's gonna sooner succumb to those injuries than be actually defeated by anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
The one option you didn't bring up, because I agree. I don't think resuming the mission and trying to get the kids is really feasible. People have pointed out when Harold was killed by Loki, which is a different thing than Domi Reversi, by the way. Like the Depths contract seems like a completely different power to Domi Reversi, so I don't think we can say that Chopper hitting them, killing them really hard is how to actually do it.
Killing them really hard is so good.
Summer had definitely got killed pretty hard by Luffy, and he's still recovering, right?
Yeah.
It's something with having to do with Loki specifically. And it is interesting he brought up the Steel Heart this chapter with Summers. I don't think he would have brought that up for no reason.
Yeah.
Loki kind of does hit Harold square in the chest with Ragnar.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible that that's the solution, to eliminate those who are immortal from the Depths contract in particular.
Mm-hmm.
But when Harold was killed, it was observed that Emu was kind of damaged in some way from losing Harold.
Yeah.
He was actually kind of like, he actually did take some damage, or like a consequence of losing someone who you were contracted with. Mm-hmm. So the logic may be that three of Emu's God's Knights are here and could get, actually eliminated if they figure it out, like the Steel Heart thing.
Yeah.
His mission might also be to just recover the God's Knights and bring them back to the Holy Land and, retreat and regroup.
Yeah.
That could be his plan. And that would have to include. The thing is, right, I could see that happening with Summers and Killingham because they're just in pieces, and they, I think Emu can easily take out the people who are holding them in those places. But Gunko is in a giant fuck you block of ice.
Yeah.
How the fuck? And I saw somebody be like, I was talking with someone, because it was just like, okay, they confirmed that the block of ice cannot be broken or melted unless with Ragnar. Like, Ragnar's the only one that can undo the ice.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just like, Emu counters.
Emu counters?
Emu just says no and breaks the ice anyway.
Ugh.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Shaybs, this it feels like it's gonna happen. Like, the way you've laid this out to me, it feels like what's gonna happen, but he's such a chicken. I don't know. It's so lame. It is like the most. Yeah. It is like the most lame way to end an arc if this happens. Like, I don't think.
Right.
Like, I feel like current day Oda would do this, but I don't want to believe he would.
And I'm not saying that Emu wouldn't do some damage in the way of it, because people are saying that would come with some consequence. People have, I know you're not on Twitter really anymore, but there is discussion, quite a lot of discussion now that Emu's physically here, of killing a Straw Hat.
People are stupid.
People want
a
Straw Hat to die.
They can't kill a giant mom. You think they're gonna kill fucking Usopp? Shut the hell up. Shut up. That is so dumb. They can't kill Saul. Are you fucking stupid? What story are you watching? No one has died this fucking arc. What are they talking? They're gonna kill a Straw Hat. If they kill, I will be so angry if they kill a Straw Hat.
I would not be happy either.
I will be. Oh my God, Ichiro. Well, the thing is, they'll kill the Straw Hat, but I can't believe it.
You know what was a worse suggestion? Like, no, they won't kill a Straw Hat. There'll just be some like really dire consequences. Like, Emu will just chop one of Sanji's hands off.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, dude, that would be awful.
Yeah.
That would be so terrible.
They're
like, I would feel, I don't know, I would feel just as bad about that as a Straw Hat. Maybe not quite as much, but
it's almost there.
It's almost there. Like, no. And people are really kind of cheering for a Sabati situation of like something so like a situation where an admiral like Kizaru shows up and they're like, we cannot stop that. We have to get out of here. And they fail to. Or at least they're saved by somebody else and just have to break up in the process. And there's some consequence to that. But it's the idea that like they flew too close to the sun, like they did in Sabati. Like, okay, you punched a celestial dragon, you do have to get fucked.
It just doesn't feel like that, though. It just, I don't know. It feels like Luffy and Loki are so overpowered at this point that like all the Straw Hats are so strong. I think Jinbei or like Sanji, they were having a conversation. They're like, yeah, we've gotten so strong. And I think Frankie was like, yeah, well, Luffy's an emperor. Like, no wonder we had to follow him. We had to follow his lead. Like, everyone. I don't feel like Emu is gonna be that difficult, like in comparison to a lot of the foes we fought thus far. Like Loki functionally has 2 devil fruits. One of them freezes you, and one of them like fucking burns you with lightning. It's very overpowered, and Luffy has the power of cartoons on his side. It's kind of he's cartoon violence. I don't know. I find that situation very unlikely, and I don't know. It just feels a bit out of place for the story.
I can
right
see
now.
where people are coming from because, like you said, they were saying, well, this is a little too easy. Well, this is going a little too fast in a way that like people are kind of like hold the phone, like maybe let him cook. But I do think even if we let him cook, just like the Usopp thing, literally just like how, hold on until like wait 20, 30, 40 chapters for Usopp to get something. Oh no, he'll get it. Like the holding out, the cope, when the writing was on the wall from the first couple chapters. If he was gonna have Usopp just like happy and drunk in the town partying while all this other shit happened, that was the tell. And no amount of Usopp would get something later. And even in this batch, when Usopp actually got something, and people when it happened, people were like, okay, this was really good. I still need more.
Yeah.
If this was all Usopp got, people said this, and I'm going to remember it. If this is all Usopp got, I'm going to be disappointed. Like it is not enough. It is too little, too late.
Yeah.
And I completely agree.
100%. I agree. 100%.
And the thing is, like I think this latest chapter in 79, Brook and Usopp are apparently so beaten up that like several bones are broken, and Frankie's like, "Wow, you guys are in awful shape. Do you want me to turn you into cyborgs?" Like, dude, I know they're not. I'm not saying they're gonna. They're not gonna die. I know they're not gonna die, but this to me signals that Usopp's fucking done for this arc.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's not gonna die. He'll be in the next arc, but like this was it for him.
Yeah.
And
it feels weird because he was trying to. It feels like Usopp interrupted Brook's moment, because I was in like one of the most interesting parts I think was that interaction with Princess Shuri, which is like Gunko. Yeah. I thought that was cool, and I'm like, I would you can insert another fucking flashback, and I would be interested to see their story.
I would absolutely. I would eat that up. Sure.
But then Usopp comes in, my favorite character in the franchise, comes in and like is like, "What are you doing, asshole? This is the Giants." I'm like, Usopp, this is not your moment, bro. You're kind of. Why are you here? Why are you interrupting the moment?
And that's the thing, right? If this wasn't his moment, who would he be talking to?
No one.
What is the conflict for Usopp? That's what I've been saying this whole time, is like, in order for us to consider it Usopp's arc, or to feel like Usopp's doing things, it's not just him like having a badass moment. It's having a badass moment in the face of some conflict.
Exactly.
Like, we considered Usopp super badass and cool for fighting with Luffy. For like, and I think he was in the wrong when it came to like Mary and stuff like that. He was being attached to the ship. He was like conflating it with being totally useless to the crew. He's like, I can't even like protect this money. I can't show my face to these guys. I feel like a complete fucking fraud. I can't fucking fix this shit. Like Luffy saying we need a new ship. Is it like, that's it. I don't need to be here. I tried so hard fixing this ship. I tried my best with this. This is how I was like, Sniper, fuck you. No. I like, that is his talent. That is who he is. But he's not like, no, I got to do more. Like, I have this artistic skill. Like, I have other things I can do. And this is a total reject. Like, no, I'm a failure. And he rejects it. He's like, no, you're wrong. No, and you're being such a dick. And like, and he just blasts everybody and leaves. Yeah. And that was like so compelling and so incredible.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of conflict I wanted from him. I think the fact that this is Elbaf and he has expectations, and I mean, there was something like that where he's like, oh, it's not what I was expecting, where they're not all warriors. There was something there. But like, I think him having to find out about Loki that as like this threat or
There
whatever.
was something there.
And Luffy
It was
like,
right there.
Luffy has a different experience.
It was right there.
He really could have done something. It could have been some kind of conflict, and like I would have completely but like Oda has this in his mind that every arc has to be bigger than the last one in some fashion. You do have to deal with this bigger threat, then bigger threat, then bigger threat, then other slightly bigger threat escalating. And that's not what I'm interested in. I understand the logic, but like that's not how it's going to work for me. And that gives me worry. That gives me worry about this last arc after Elbaf. I do hope that Emu coming down signals that he is taking care of this world government shit for the for the last time. And like you said, it feels like the world government is like interfering with this arc and whatever. But it's like, yeah, because that is the only threat left.
Yeah.
Besides the last one, which he wants the last one to be Blackbeard and Shanks. Once he like Luffy is like properly confronting them, we know it's the fucking end of the show. Mm-hmm. We know that this is it. You know, it cannot end until he is fighting Blackbeard and meeting Shanks again.
Yeah.
Like that is the end of the, and I can't believe these fucking people are like, Emu's gonna fucking cause some shit and then leave to come back later. It's like some cope. They're like, no, he is the final villain. No, I don't want him to be the final. I am so happy he's here because it means he's fucking done.
He needs to be done. I'm
so glad.
We need to wrap it up. We need to wrap it up. The Emu
and
stuff.
And this is not me saying that the world government stuff is a bad plot point at all. I'm only saying of like what I care more or less about. And it's not out of a rejection of them. It's just like I would much rather us get to the stuff I'm looking forward to and caring about. You know, I want it to be an island with no other new characters. Maybe Burn Scar Man is like the one guy. But everything else, you're not introducing any new fucking like there's no town on Laugh Tale to meet fucking people or whatever.
Oh, dude, I don't want to meet a new character ever. I never want to meet a new one.
That's enough.
I'm gonna be honest.
Like all I want is a fucking bare island. I don't care what's on it. Just a fucking island with the Blackbeard crew, with the Straw Hat Pirates, and the red-haired pirates, and Cross Guild.
Yeah.
That's it. And look, Oda, if you give that much of a shit about Law, heck, if you want to put Kid in there, if you want to put fucking any character you want, just like not everybody, just not one big fuck you final war where everybody's fucking fighting each other at the same time. The way other fans want. They're like expecting something on the level of Marineford, and it's like I get the logic of that, but like I don't need fucking Shirahoshi and drag the Revolutionary Army and the Marines and like everybody. Fuck the Grand Fleet. Fuck you.
No,
like,
I need it to be separated.
All of them.
We need it to be separated a bit. I agree. Yeah. To make it like, because we think back to the most emotional and like highest parts of this series, and it's all like the smaller moments where it's like one-on-ones. It's like these moments where we're focused on a specific location with a group of characters. It's not like Marineford was impactful, but what really like made us like, you know, emotional is the death of Ace. And why do we like Ace? Because he's Luffy's brother, and we've seen them interact and have a good time, and he's such a cool character, and we see him in flashbacks. Like it's that Marineford worked because of all the setup with all the individual characters, and we need these smaller moments again, because I think every arc has kind of like the past few arcs have felt like Marineford, like it to some.
That he has to top Marineford.
He keeps trying to top it, right? And it's like they're cool. There's cool fights, and I think there's great moments, and I think Wano like had some amazing moments. I cried twice. I think the flashbacks are great. Yeah. I think the King Harold flashback I think is really great. Aside from the Domi Reversi, but you know, I'll have to forgive Oda for that. But But yeah, I think the best parts of One Piece are the emotional moments and the funny moments, and I'm like, I like the action, but like I need more character stuff. I need more character stuff
and character stuff with characters we care about, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the cope of, like, I just think he has in mind the end point for these characters. And he's just kind of, the struggle that he had. That's again challenge. I want to frame it more as a challenge.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he's like struggling, whatever. It's more like you have something in mind for these characters. What are you going to give them in the meantime? Because like he can't. As much as we're complaining about it being fast right now, it's still this arc is still longer than Egghead.
which is
you know, like this is still kind of a lot. This is still like he does have a lot to do, but I also really respect, and I'm not going to like complain about it being fast because I've wanted it to be about this. I think this long is good. I don't want it to be fuck you Dressrosa.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be fuck you Whole Cake. Wano at least kind of justifies its length for how he culminated it for so much, but like I don't need it to be like, oh shoot, like oh no, like I have to go through the motion of giving the amount for everybody, and especially because he got hospitalized during Dressrosa. It's like it was like a wake up call. It's like, oh shit, what am I doing? Like I have to make sure I actually finish this thing.
Yeah, I think in the process though, like I'm glad he's gonna finish it. I don't know if I'm looking back at these arcs with rose-colored glasses. It's just like I'm looking at Dressrosa. I'm looking at Whole Cake. They have amazing emotional
They're pretty
moments.
good. They're pretty good arcs.
Good. And they're long, but they have They have some of the best moments in One Piece.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And they don't have that much to do with the Straw Hats. Like fucking Whole Cake has half the Straw Hats gone.
Yeah,
and
but
same with Dressrosa. Half the Straw Hats leave halfway, like a third of the way through Dressrosa.
But like in these arcs, in Dressrosa and Whole Cake, like the Straw Hats, most of them get like
get stuff,
good cool moments.
They get really good stuff.
Brooke, like God Usopp, man, one of the best. Yeah. Usopp moments in the entire series, it was so fun. Along the way he forgot how to write a smaller arc because realistically Egghead and Wano should not have these stakes. I feel like they should be like Little Garden, but we've gotten to a place,
or Zoe. Even Zoe is like more of a recent example because at least like that one's pretty self-contained.
It's set up.
It was also kind of an interesting structure because it wasn't about beating a big bad so much. Like it was kind of it was kind of structured in such a weird way that like, they first show up to it and they're like, what happened here? Oh, let me tell you. And then the flashback happens. And it's not like a typical Oda flashback, but it's sort of just like, oh, previously, in a weird way, creates this incredible emotional payoff.
Yeah.
And then it has really good like new lore. And I like the characters in it that get introduced in it, and it wraps up. Yeah. And you're right that like he is capable of writing short but meaningful arcs. Fucking Baratier is not that long, and it whips, and also it doesn't. It's not like it's like all lean muscle. Like it does have some dumb fucking Pearl Man. Like it's got some like tangents that's like I don't care for. It doesn't matter. He does what he needs to do and gets in and out. But no, you're right.
I'm just like thinking of a world. It's not the world we live in, but where Egghead is more of like a Jaya to Wano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaya. You mean a Jaya to Elbaf?
Like, to Elbaf. Yeah. Sorry. To Elbaf.
Yeah.
Like it's a smaller arc. We get Vegapunk. We cut out Bonnie. Like we just cut her out of the story. Like,
oh shit!
We cut Bonnie. Kuma's dead. Kuma's dead. This is Jack's One Piece. Jack's fanfic. We cut the Kuma part. Yeah. Like it's a nice flashback.
Cut the Kuma flashback. God damn, Jack.
I'm done with it.
Holy.
There's better flashbacks.
Wow.
There's
damn.
better fucking flashback. We cut Kuma. He's died too many times.
Yeah.
We cut them out. We just go to Vegapunk. We maybe have a fight with like Rob Lucci, but and maybe have setup with Emu, but then Wano's the bigger arc. But
Elbaf's the bigger arc.
I keep saying Wano, dude, because I want to be reading Wano and not Elbaf.
I guess that's so crazy because you were so blackpill on Wano.
But Wano feels like a masterpiece in comparison to this arc to me.
God damn,
genuinely,
man.
Because I'm just looking back at Wano. I'm like week to week that shit was a nightmare. But I feel like Elbaf has very similar problems. And it's lacking the big emotional moments, which like I like the flashback, but I'm just thinking back to the Odin flashback and Yasui's like death. Like those were like I'm actively like crying, man. Like those were so impactful. I thought those are so well like set up, like with Yasui and
all
like,
the stuff with the scabbards, and they actually get to snatch on Kaido.
Yeah.
Like I fucking love that moment.
No.
where, like they actually kind of get their turn. Like
Yeah.
we know it's gonna be Luffy's fight, and they don't stand a chance. But the fact that they, there's this moment with like, yeah, there's this toxic environment with the samurai, and they go and sacrifice themselves for nothing, and they just wipe themselves out, and they have this like catchphrase snatch, and it's framed as this like toxic bad thing. And then just out of nowhere, like they do kind of get the sneak on him, and they just go "fuck you, snatch!" And it's like so good.
It's so
like they
cathartic.
still do it anyway. It's so good.
It's so
dude.
cathartic. And yeah, I'm not saying Wano's a perfect arc.
No,
not by far. But
no.
But just reading these chapters, it feels
what we had, man.
What we had. Why was I complaining back then? Because it's
yeah.
This is like he's just throwing he's forgetting where the character, like the map is so fucking confusing. He's forgetting where the characters are, and he's like, oh, maybe I'll put Usopp over here.
Yeah.
And
well,
the fans
no
are complaining
glue,
online
right.
that there's no Usopp moment. I forgot. Let me give him a moment at the end here. Like it just, I don't know. It
Yeah.
I'm so black-pilled.
It was priorities. It's simply he chose not to. It was similar with
not to.
Egghead, where I was like, wow, it would have been really cool if Vegapunk, the moment in Elbaf here, it goes by like you miss it because it's a crumb, and that's all he gives us nowadays is crumbs. But I really like the moment where Lilith was like, your body, Frankie, is really well constructed. It's like as strong as a pacifista.
Nice.
And that's like a really great compliment for Vegapunk, the guy that Frankie looks up to be getting from his idol, basically.
Exactly. No, I thought it was a sweet moment.
I wish he got that from the Stella on Egghead. Like I wish.
Yeah.
It was nice that Frankie actually was kind of in the action with like with Saturn and all that, and like Vegapunk dying. Although it was Sanji's kind of responsibility and failure that he that Vegapunk dies. And it's also like the secret, like the fact that it's Sanji that Vegapunk tells all that to. He's like, you don't have to worry about taking me off the island anymore. I think I'm meant to die here. And he's like, by the way, about the One Piece, I hope you guys find it. I wish he fucking told Frankie that.
Yeah, he should have told Frankie. Yeah, he should have told Frankie.
Sure. I like that he told Sanji.
It's a missed opportunity.
Exactly. It's just like it's certain thoughts, and it's like he coulda, shoulda, woulda, and he didn't. Yeah. And my only thought is like he's probably saving this shit for the end, like, and that's my only cope at this point. But I don't know what the room that we have for interpersonal drama. Like people want stuff from Zoro, right? They want to have Zoro's interpersonal conflict with his own strength and his relationship with Death and his loyalty to Luffy. Yeah, people want stuff like character interpersonal stuff with Zoro. Is there really going to be time for that in between him having to take out Mihawk again? Like actually getting that final fight with Mihawk, or like what crew member is he going to be facing against with? Wouldn't it be fucking awesome if there was some scenario if he just like had a one-on-one chat with Ben Beckman?
Yeah.
Just like as first mates, and it's like, how do you stop your captain from just going out there and going crazy? And he's like, you don't stop, or something like that. I don't know.
But if you watch that one video, he's not the first mate, apparently.
Oh my God.
What was that one? Melon Tree? Is that?
Yeah. She was talking about.
Videos. But she made the first mate video. It was like an hour long.
Oof.
Where she was just talking about how Zoro isn't the first mate or whatever.
Well, it's like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like
it
was all semantics.
Right.
But
okay.
But
it wasn't semantic to me. But all right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all semantics. But I think that would be a cool moment. I get where you're coming from. I think Oda's really, especially with the last two arcs, since he said we're in the final saga, if there's anything to go off of here, I just think there is going to be a lot to be desired when it comes to these personal inner conflicts that I don't think we're going to get them.
No.
I don't, and I think that's really, really disappointing. Because
and two things kind of encourage me. I'm like, here it is. Here's what I'm missing from reading the manga. That interpersonal stuff, like taking it slower. You know what really takes it slow? You know what One Piece related media takes it pretty slow. Perhaps even one chapter every 20 minutes.
Don't say it.
Perhaps, thank God for Toei, man. I love them.
Okay, dude, I thought you were gonna say the live action Shapes. I was about to.
Oh, I was gonna. That was my other one, actually.
I thought you were gonna say live action. I think I was about to burst.
Let me talk about that first, then. Actually, because that is, that was like the one joy I was getting when watching the live action. The season 2 came out since we last recorded. I was enjoying it with the friend of mine who started One Piece with me, my roommate. We watched season 2 together. We watched season 1 together as well, but and we enjoyed season 2. You know why? Because the Straw Hats actually fucking talk to each other and have meaningful conversations.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And you get my Straw Hat interaction right here. Perfect.
I don't know what Straw Hats you're talking about, but those are not the Straw Hats. I don't know what. They might look like them.
They are cosplaying.
They're cosplay. They look like them.
But you see,
those
Jack,
ain't the fucking Straw Hats,
but
bro.
you see, that is
those
how
are not the fucking
badly
Straw
I
Hats.
want this. I don't care if it's a facsimile. At least
he looks like Luffy, but he's not Luffy. He looks like him. But that's not him, guys. It's not. He's tricking you, man. It's not him. He just looks like him. He just fucking looks like. Oh my god.
Yeah, look.
This was the worst part of reading these chapters. Seeing this image of fucking Luffy with live action Chopper in the manga. I'm like, you can make the live action, just don't advertise this shit to me while I'm reading the manga. Don't fucking do this shit to me. Do not do this shit to me for reminding me that this shit exists. I was gonna watch the live action for a podcast.
And you didn't even you stopped.
I watched episode 1 and I just could not bring myself to watching more of it. I've seen clips of other episodes, and it's I think
you can't stomach it.
I really can't stomach it. From watching that first episode, I do think Nami is a little bit better.
Yes,
but I just
Usopp continues to be the best Straw Hat.
I don't know.
Even at that, come on, Jack.
He's just not funny, bro. I don't know. It's I think he's the closest to what the Straw Hat.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Attitude.
Yes,
but he's just not
doing
funny.
it the most.
I just think the acting is bad. So it's just he's doing his best.
Dude, I'm telling you, it would have been way worse if they were trying to be manga accurate.
Yeah,
it would not have come across good.
I don't know, man. I just want it to be more silly.
That's fair.
I want it to be more silly.
Oh, I agree.
Well, realistically, I just don't want a live action. That's blanket statement. I don't want a live action. But if I'm getting a live action, I want it to be like The Mask or something. I want it to be really, way more silly. Because I think the worst part about
kind of throwaway. We're not trying to actually adapt it seriously. It's just we're having fun with it.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't know. I feel like One Piece is so silly most of the time, especially early One Piece.
Yes.
I just feel like they take it too seriously. It very much feels watered down. I think, especially in that first episode. I don't know.
I totally understand that. I'm able to kind of pinch my nose and have I enjoy it in its own way. It's not going to replace the manga or the anime for me. But I like it because it's it does remind me of this stuff that I care about. The interactions, how Nami and Usopp talk to each other, how Luffy and Zoro talk to each other. And I have a friend of mine who, I hate to call him out, but he's not caught up. He's barely watched much of One Piece. He's seen I think he's seen up to Alabasta with the anime or something. But he was saying, I was like, oh, live action Sanji is way better than manga or anime Sanji because he's not like a skeevy pervert. Right, he has that
Sanji
whole thing
is
about
not a
Sanji,
skeevy pervert.
And yeah, exactly, he is, and I love that.
I don't feel like Sanji is a skeevy pervert. I feel like he is a lover boy. I don't think he's a skeevy pervert.
Yeah, I think there are moments, particularly in the anime, where it's oh, you may have pushed that a little too far. But I think a lot of it is out of context. The whole nosebleed thing in Return to Sabaody and Fishman it's out of context and not how he acts the rest of the series. Like, he literally doesn't get those nosebleeds anywhere else. He gets cured of it from seeing beautiful mermaids. And that's actually
funny,
a really...
man.
It's funny. It is so funny. And it's like a really interesting point of drama for his character, because he's like, oh, the poor guy, wanted to see the mermaid so bad, and he gets, they actually treat it seriously. They actually like, oh no, he lost a lot of blood, and that opens up the conflict of like, human blood, and that foreshadows the epic payoff with Jinbei and Luffy giving blood, right? Like, it's integrated. It actually works. It's good. The nosebleed gag is good.
It's so good. I don't know. I don't get the Sanji hate. I think people are too soft. He's funny. He has heart. He's a good man. It's not that. I feel like it's not that deep with Sanji.
No.
It's like not.
And it's also it also feels a little performative to me. It feels like I have to dislike the perv character, because if I don't dislike the perv character, I'm endorsing or giving a pass to all perv characters.
No, he's a good perv character because he's not a fucking creep. He like respects women over any other like species on the planet.
He did do that shit in Thriller Bark. He did do that shit in Wano.
What was the shit in Wano?
He used his invisibility powers to peep in on the women's bath.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot. There's too many things that happen in Wano. But.
And he declares in Thriller Bark, he's like, I always wanted to turn invisible so I could so I could peep on naked ladies.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to whatever.
The thing is, I'm reading One Piece as a horny 12-year-old, and you're like, yeah, no shit, me too, type shit. You know what I mean?
Same, King. No, right. No, exactly, or whatever. And it feels performative, but meanwhile, we're talking about like how good Sanji is. It's like, yeah, that's Sanji. Like that is Sanji.
What is this video?
Yeah. Like,
are these the actors?
No, not. This is not the. This is just like cosplayers or something. Like some perform.
That's how much the actors look like cosplayers. You sent this video.
No, of course you did. Yeah, of course you're thinking that. No, I'm just like, isn't that the cutest shit ever?
That's sweet. What the hell?
Right? And like that's Sanji.
Yeah, that's fucking Sanji, dude. He's not. I don't know. I hate the live action one. He's too.
Sorry, you're so blackpill on the live action. I didn't even consider that. I was just like, live action. Ah!
I hate the live action.
Oh god damn it.
I wanted to talk about it a little bit because I can't really talk about season 2 because I haven't watched it.
That's okay.
I'm not like
1. I wasn't looking to have like a deeper. Really, my only point about it was that I really only enjoyed it for getting to have more Straw Hat stuff. Like there was more interaction between them, which is something I felt I was so deeply missing. I also get it from the anime, which came back this week. They aired the first episode after a 3-month break, and I cried.
Hell yeah!
It's not even. It's the chapter that they adapt the chapter where Bartolomeo and Shanks interact.
Oh, nice.
And all you get from the Straw Hats is them just kind of like sailing and partying with the giants, and then they get apparated from the absinthe or whatever. Although the anime does spoil these 6 specific Straw Hats got abducted, whereas the manga you didn't know how many Straw Hats were gone or what was going on necessarily until later. Yeah. That's like the only major thing. I'm like, oh, okay. Otherwise, I like cried because I was just the infection. They reanimated some parts of Little Garden of like they reanimated the scene of Usopp realizing that Elbaf is where he wants to be, and like this is my goal type of thing. The music, they hit all the right kind of classic familiar music beats, and it's the actors, and it's so good.
This is crack. Rock cocaine. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you.
It's so perfect. And also it's particularly good for me because I didn't even realize this about this chapter. It's not just the Shanks moment, it's also the Blackbeard scene where he's getting caught up of what happened on Hachinozu during Egghead, where he's like, what the fuck happened? And he's like, we captured Garp, and we have this thing happening with, hey, Lafrite, keep an eye on the world government and like get ready to make a move or whatever. And so he's plotting and scheming and, yucking it up with the pirates and stuff like that. And you're getting their, like, situating them. You're situating the Shanks pirates where they have this otherwise kind of ruthless taking care of business aspect to them. But Shanks has this very small hidden soft side for Luffy, and
Hell
so
yeah.
you're situating him, and then you situate the Straw Hats. We're just having a fucking good time. They're not even rattled or theorizing or anything about what just happened on Egghead. Like they lick their wounds a little bit, like, oh, we didn't manage to save Vegapunk, even though no, I'm fine actually. I'm technically not dead. I was like, oh, okay. And not even just they're like, wow, we just survived all this shit. But now they're just on the ship to Elbaf, and they're just partying. They're just like happy they're going to see Saul again, and they're just having a good fucking time. And I love that because it just kind of, it's like that is where their minds are at. They see an island threatened by thugs. They don't even know anything about the God Knights. They don't know anything about. They heard about, like, oh, these is who these are, and they're like, okay.
Yeah,
the world government, like Cypher Pole, like Aegis. There's something funny about it's so intangible to describe. But if you think about, if you're like me and you're thinking and talking about One Piece and discussions and theories and columns and stuff like that, it's so easy to kind of look at the big picture and kind of get lost in the weeds in that sense and theorizing about stuff. And then when you watch the anime, they're like, whoa, Cypher Pole, and then like, whoa, the Gorosei, like they're kind of pacing it at an arm's length, kind of putting you in the Straw Hats position where they're like, whoa, who's that guy? He's this guy. And it almost feels like it almost feels babyish, but it really grounds you. It kind of just like, this is where they're at. Like this is how Luffy thinks almost in that way. Like it's you know, he's
this
the
is how we're supposed to take it. Like we're not supposed to take it as seriously. Like that's almost
exactly.
where they're at.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch the anime. I feel like it might be having that slower paced vibe that I think I crave.
Yeah, or just, you know, absorbing the moments. And look, they're not going to be perfect every time. And I was rewatching, so I was making an AMV for something, and in doing that I was rewatching bits of like Marineford in the anime, and I'm like, wow, maybe I didn't like Marineford because I watched the anime. Because oh my god, this is like nothing. Like they were working with fucking nothing in this episode. And the way they were like, and I respected the effort, because really just looking at the chat, like there really is nothing else here, and they're like, you have to pace it this way, so what do we put here? Fuck. And I can literally see them getting like writer's block almost from like a production standpoint of like, given their approach of like, how do we zhuzh this out and make it kind of impactful? And I can almost see it, but it's not great. And just the execution of like, in particular, it was the scene of Garp jumping in front of Luffy and like stopping him as he's running up to the platform to save Ace. Yeah. And you're looking at it objectively and you're like, this doesn't work. like it's supposed to be, and it works in manga time. It works in the manga because like you can kind of suspend your, you know, there's no unfolding time. There's unfolding time in the sense, but you have control over it. Whereas you don't have any control over the flow of time. So Luffy is running up this platform for like 8 minutes.
Yes.
And you're like, you can literally see him running and not moving. Like it's like he's literally like he's still going up, and it's like they're cutting all these different characters, and they're waiting, and it's like, oh boy, and it's like, oh boy.
It's so funny.
It doesn't work. It would work maybe with a different series composition, or if they found some other tasteful way to do it in some framing it some way. But there's some points in the story where you're just completely stuck, and you're like, fuck. And I think that was logistically the case for Toei. Probably Sabaody up to like, I don't think I had so many problems with Impel Down, but definitely Marineford, Fishman, Punk Hazard, and Dressrosa. And then they got a little bit better in Zoe, a little bit better in Whole Cake, and then Wano they fixed, and then Wano they figured it out. But there is that long stretch of time where they're kind of in their bum era, and I completely get that. And they're not batting 100 post Wano either. Obviously, people bring up the sumo wrestler early on in Wano, where they're like, oh, maybe I'll watch the anime, and they're like, oh fuck.
Oh no.
Oh god. Right. But I can still see their point from the anime perspective. Like I get what they're trying to do, but yeah, it's not coming across very well.
Yeah. Sometimes,
Egghead still has some kind of like some swing and a miss certain moments, But like by and large, I ultimately prefer it this way because they really do give every moment its day in court on a uniform, flat level. I can understand the disappointment when it's a double page spread and you don't get that majesty of a double page spread too often from the anime, because they'll make the decision of like, oh, this will be for that moment, and we can skimp out on this because it's a still frame. Props to the anime staff and the animes who were involved in stuff like that. They made the Gorosei double page spread. They made that like a big fucking deal. You know, they were able to kind of like elaborate on that. Luffy's jumping around them, dodging them, and like huge fuck you chaotic moment, and then it's like really epic of like the big presentation of all 5 of them. You're just like, whoa, holy fuck.
That's cool. So they're entering Elbaf now in the anime?
Yeah, so this is the first episode of they are entering Elbaf. They took a 3-month break. They finished Egghead, and now they're going into Elbaf, and they kind of announced certain things. And it is just a fun surprise having read it of like, oh, what is a moment that the animators want to amp up, like, whoa, they didn't have to go that hard for this moment or that moment that you wouldn't expect. That does also lead to some disappointment where you're expecting a strong moment for a certain page for a certain moment, and they don't give it to that. So it's like you're watching somebody else's vision, but that's an adaptation, right? You're just watching an adaptation of it, someone else's take on One Piece. Similar to the Wit piece, the One Piece from Wit Studio.
When's that coming out?
We don't know.
Is it ever coming out? Like, I feel like they announced it like 2 years ago, and like
they announced it in 2023.
3 years ago?
They just, and I only bring it up because of this, because people are starting to be like impatient with it. Because you remember when like it was announced, everyone was like, "Wow, Toei is cooked! Wow, great! Finally, a good adaptation of One Piece! Woo!" And then it's like, guys, they're only gonna do East Blue. They're never gonna, and they're like, no, fuck you. They're gonna make it all. And now we're waiting 3 years for East Blue, and you're like, nope, this is not happening. Like people are actually kind of understanding what this is, which is just another way to get people into One Piece. That's all.
I don't know. I feel like Netflix made a good adaptation of One Piece.
Yeah. I don't think it's so bad. It's not gonna make it all the way, and they've said as much.
They said they want to do 12 seasons or some shit.
I know there's a IGN interview that just came out with one of the creative directors that were just like, we have years planned out, but I don't know if they said 12 seasons.
I guess I saw something about that.
There's absolutely people who are speculating that they could ostensibly do it for this many seasons or something. Oda, they apparently, I think the cast member said this. Oda has a place that he knows he wants to stop, where he's like, I don't think we need to go further than this, or I have a way to do it so that it can leave off in a satisfactory way and get people to read it. It's not feasible to expect the actors are going to be in their fucking 40s or 50s, like the voice actors.
Yeah.
By the time that happens, because it just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. That's fine. And then similar with One Piece, where they only just announced, like they had it. The people were expecting like a trailer. We don't even have footage for this shit yet.
Yeah, we don't. We just got like art, right? I think we just.
Yeah, they just got like 4 new screenshots. Like out of the they kind of flipped through a ton of material that they've shown off before, and they only showed off 4 brand new shots of anything.
Oh, okay.
Which look good. Don't get me wrong. I like that the art, at least the art boards. We don't know if the actual anime is going to look like this. But there's one where it's like during Orange Town, where Nami introduces herself to Luffy, and the sky is all white, which looks just like his early color spreads. You know how like his early color spreads, it's just the characters who are fully colored, and then everything else is way more like pastel or like a white sky.
Cool.
You know like that aesthetic in early One Piece art spreads. People are kind of like, oh, I hope the anime kind of looks like that, and I'm like, that would look really nice.
That would be badass.
Yeah.
I guess I hope people aren't getting their hopes up too high. I'm also afraid of like a Uzumaki situation.
Oh yeah.
Where they really try and go for like this crazy aesthetic, but then aren't able to meet that.
Yeah, they run out of time or money or something.
Run out of time, run out of money.
Get the plug pulled on them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't want something to happen with that, but Yeah, I don't know. I'll watch the anime because it's the correct medium to have a One Piece adaptation in. So
Yeah, ultimately,
I'll
and
check
they
that
did,
out.
and I think they've done a good job. At least, you know me, I'm always a cheerleader for it. It is how I got into One Piece. I didn't really read One Piece for the most part, like largely. I've been anime only, and I don't
Yeah.
regret it at all.
Yeah, I think the anime's cool. Same with me. I think I was reading some of I bought the box set for it's like Water 7 box
yeah.
set, so I was reading some of that in the manga, and I think it's just fun re-experiencing that story through the manga.
Definitely.
It's fun to do that, and it's just like what I love the story for, and I don't know, like what has you optimistic? Because I think we started this podcast with you being like,
Right.
I'm
I feel a little bit better about. Yeah.
because I feel like I brought in the jaded shapes.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm happy you were there. I'm happy you were at that point because I think it was important to not lose sight of how dire it was a couple chapters ago.
Yeah.
Because I do think this emu stuff, the recent stuff with Usopp and Frankie, for how little there was, at least it's like, okay, at least we're finally there. But like the past couple of chapters, especially the one you mentioned with, the emotional moment of saving the kids, sacrifice, and this emotional touching moment, and then big fuck you dragon. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah.
what are we? Who are these characters for?
Just no stakes. It just feels like there's no stakes. Like they save the kids, then Dory and Broggy die. Oh no, wait, they're not dead.
And
like-
it was so funny. It was weird about that. Was like, he made a sit. Like, why did he just do the moment twice?
Yeah.
Like, there's a moment where, Zoro is clashing with the giants, and then he gets to Dory and Broggy, and I think it's like they try to hit him, and they accidentally hit each other.
Yeah.
And at the time, I remember people were like, wow, what a great callback to Little Garden. Because
Yeah.
it's framed like the same exact way as when they were clashing with each other in Little Garden, except because of their Domi Reversi or whatever, it goes right through them. So there was sort of like almost a little like indirect reading of, oh, when they were fighting on Little Garden, they could have done more lethal blows to each other. It wasn't really a fight to the death that they were doing.
They're just playing.
They were really just kind of like chivalrously fighting and playing.
They're
Exactly.
like dogs, when dogs play, they like attack each other and this shit, It was
Yeah. Understanding that they're kind of stranded on this island and stuff, and it's sort of like a coping mechanism of sorts. And
Yeah.
they never really say it explicitly, but I think that's kind of what it was. It's like, yeah, we were kind of left on this island. They left us, and we just have each other, and this is how we're gonna, take
That's how we
that
get
out
through
on
it,
each
yeah.
other. But they don't do lethal blows to each other. And this was like a callback of like, oh, when they don't give a shit, when they're not thinking consciously of each other, they could have easily just wiped each other. Like, could have just slashed each other. But it didn't matter at the time because they regenerate or whatever. But then he just does the moment again, and he just they cut each other's head off again. And not even again, it's just like they just do that. And it is a really terrifying moment, except not even just that they get flipped. It's like, okay, given what we know about Domi Reversi, we don't know that this is the solution. They're immortal. Okay, like, oh, that's a crazy moment. That it was emotional because they had snapped out. They had actually kind of got back to their senses for a little bit, and that's how they were able to do it. And it's like, oh wow, and that's and it's like, we are warriors of Elbaf. We die with it's done really well. That's the issue. Is that like Oda undercuts his own good moment. Like, I do think him killing Domi and Broggy off that way could have been really interesting.
It could have been really interesting and impactful.
And
really
just like,
impactful. Because we
damn.
care about them. Like, you've set
Right.
up these characters that we care about. Like, have them
Yeah.
die for the
And
like.
there's consequence, and that makes us really hate Emu and want to kick his ass.
Yeah.
And I am not on the train of like cheering the live action for killing off characters. Wow, they actually killed off Mr. Five or whatever. Like, or whatever. I don't give a fuck about like,
Mr. Five. Who gives a shit about Mr. Five? You know what I mean? Like,
no,
yeah.
I just mean with like the idea of, oh, Oda doesn't kill characters, that therefore bad. Like, he should kill characters, therefore good. Like, I'm not necessarily trying to say that.
Yeah, it's not as black and white as that.
But I just think it's like, if you give us that moment, if you have Pell sacrifice himself in a nuclear explosion, maybe keep him dead. if you're not going
Yeah.
to do anything else with him? You know, like what's wrong with keeping him dead? That's why people are upset because it's not the death itself, it's the fake out death. It's
Yeah.
that you killed this character and then you didn't have the guts to continue keeping them dead. Like, what is he going to use Pound for?
Yeah.
Like, why does it? What do you mean Pound's still alive? Why?
Yeah, it was. I think what was so frustrating about this chapter is that there's like 5 fucking fake-out deaths in this chapter. Like, I feel like that moment where like Emu attacks like Usopp and Brook, it's supposed to be like a fake-out like moment to some extent. Well, I'm just like, I know they're not gonna die because they're like main characters of the story. Well, at least they're supposed to be main characters, but yeah,
Well,
I don't
right,
know.
and that's the
Yeah.
struggle of any story, I think, where it's like I have to suspend the audience. I have to make the audience forget that this character isn't going to die.
Well,
in
you
an action
need that
story-
by actually like killing off some characters, like having the stakes be high, like I
Or just put him in a situation where we weren't really concerned about Luffy dying to Kaido. We
Yeah.
were concerned, how is he going to get past Kaido? It's not even like I wasn't even thinking about in that sense. It was more like, oh, I don't want other characters, like I don't want Kinemon to die or whatever, etc. It's the people. There's consequence around them. It's basically you can supplant your concern of the main character's well-being or the main characters, like in Brook and Usopp, for somebody else. You can supplant that onto someone who is more likely to die, or just them failing. Just them not overcoming a certain thing. Sabaody is fucking devastating.
Yeah.
Sabaody is like the equivalent of killing off all these characters, but
Yeah.
they didn't die. But like you still are like absolutely floored by it. It's just a strategic thing,
Yeah, and I feel like the strategy was a bit weak on these set of chapters, but
No, yeah, he just didn't. It's just focusing on different things. Okay.
okay, Oda. But
Okay.
we should probably wrap this up soon. Is there any like final thing you wanted to bring up?
No, that was really. It was like the Wit Piece and live action and how I feel about that stuff. Where that's where I am getting not constructive, but like added like the content I want out of the manga.
Yeah, you're
is,
getting
like,
the One Piece enjoyment.
I'm getting that from these other sources, kind of deal.
Hopefully Emu's a cool character. We'll be back whenever there's I guess a good chunk of chapters to talk about and we'll discuss. I hope Emu's an incel. I think
I
that'll
hope,
be funny.
yeah, and I also I had this. It's probably not going to happen, but I always thought that the One Piece was a story about how Joy Boy caught Emu pooping his pants, and that's why Emu was like, "No, Joy Boy," like. And like he's just like this like little shitter or something like actual physical shitter.
Yeah, Emu is a person who can't take a joke. Like he's just a guy who's he's so embarrassed. I'm like, dude, it's a joke. Like we're messing around.
Yeah. Like, no,
Yeah,
But we'll see if we'll see if I agree. I think that'd be fine. Or I know Nate said this about Emu's form, where it's like because Emu transformed from the thing with the giant crown to this. That does mean there might be another form. It doesn't take it out of the realm of possibility that this is just a form that Emu has put on, and it's not the true final form. Maybe he's like in reality this decrepit old man or something like that, right? Because he's lived for 800 years, So there could be something where this is itself a form, but maybe in reality he's like this dawdling, crotchety, whatever. Something Oda, something dumb Oda, like haha, fuck you type of Oda design.
That would be funny. I hope
that'd be
they
great.
kill him.
Kill him!
Kill him!
Or just die. Just like succumb
Just
to
die,
your,
Emu. We don't want to
succumb-
see you anymore. Get the
succumb to
hell
your
out of here.
Succumb to your injuries. But I get where people are coming from with the Straw Hat consequence. Maybe he does, but nothing like killing a Straw Hat or chopping
that's dumb.
Sanji's fucking hand off. You're a fucking
These
idiot.
people are so stupid. I don't know. The One Piece community, like, I'm so doomer about it now, but I'm like...
Never change.
I'm sorry.
No.
I wish I was more positive,
Well,
but...
this is Pissed Pirates, but we're not pissed at One Piece. We're pissed at you.
I'm pissed at everything.
Yep, I'm pissed.
I'm not pissed at you, Shapes.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, man. Yo, peace.